Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. I'm AKA, your host for this evening, and tonight I've been joined by the legend that is Albert and the other legend, Bridgeman. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, guys. How are you two?
A big good evening to you two guys. How was doing? Everybody good? I'm fine.
Good.
Fantastic.
Bridgeman, over to you for your welcome.
Oh, can I just say, what a terrible night last night. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, commiserations with our rotten. But everybody, come on. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Wow.
Aye. Albert, how are you, pal?
Great. Ticky to boot, mate. Ticky to boot. Apart from the results, I'm fine, mate, like everybody else.
Just like everybody.
Can
I do? I was just going to welcome, I'll say good evening to the techie team in the background and everybody that's joining us on the socials as well, Facebook and YouTube. Hope you enjoy the show. Albert, you were at the game last night. What did you make it? In fact, what did you make of the tifo to start with? A belter, was it not?
When it was actually first getting on the field, I was like, what's this now? What we doing with this one? Didn't make any sense whatsoever. And then you seen it's the Coliseum. I started, but when they put the big gladiator up, that was superb, mate. Absolutely stunning. It was stunning. It really was. That was nearly as good as the flares on the Clyde after we won the league. That was brilliant, mate. It was a touch of genius. It really was. But the tifo was excellent as well. Excellent, mate. In fact, that was about the highlight. That was about the highlight of the night.
Aye, you're no wrong. I mean, I thought it was a nice wee touch actually when you heard the gladiator kind of music behind it as well, Bridge. But the UB, they've certainly done their job with the tifos over the years, throughout the atmosphere.
Yeah, I think they've been brilliant for Rangers, really and truly. I liked them when they were doing even in the Broomlow. I liked them there as well. But up in the Copeland, when the tifos are getting done, you get you're part of it, when things are draping over the top of you. It's just lovely to see, just brilliant. I thoroughly enjoy that, and I thought that was quite impressive,
Mm-hmm. Aye, but it was a welcome to Roma, obviously the team we were playing against. It's their city, the kind of gladiator, the historic Coliseum and everything that goes with it. We were hoping we were going to have 11 gladiators out in the park last night, Albert, but it didn't materialise that way. I think Roma, they were missing a few big players, but they've had a good domestic start to the season. They find themselves fourth in Serie A, only 1 point behind Napoli up top, so that we knew they were a good team, even though they were under strength, but they still showed their quality.
It was the Coliseum, and we were supposed to be the gladiators. We ended up the Christians. All it was missing was a lion. No? I mean, it was dreadful. It was dreadful, mate.
Bridgeman, Roma, good quality opponents. They punished us.
Well, look, we walked right into it, didn't we? We invited them to do whatever they wanted to do on the park, and we couldn't cope with them at all. And virtually no possession. A couple of players maybe showed some shades of good stuff, but in reality, our better players, they just weren't in the game. They were completely outclassed. That team are way above us from any level we want to be. And I was going to say maybe we should be aiming to get to that level, but I think you've got maybe take you 5-10 years to get to that level. The way things are with us. We'll never be able to get and hold real good quality players because they just won't stay with us. That team we played last night were absolutely outstanding in virtually every part of the pitch. Our goalkeeper did very well a couple of times, and that no problem there. We were young lads that were up the front. They ran their heart out. But my God, there's some times during the game we were wondering why we're running. Why don't you just stand still? You know, the ball might come to you then. So they were dragging us everywhere. I don't mean that we were, but we were dragged out all over the place, and we are allowed it to happen. Just allowed it to happen.
Well, Bridge, you touched on our goalkeeper. Jack Butland actually had a press conference at Ibrox this morning talking about a few incidents on the game and a few incidents for last weekend. So we've got two parts here. Fox is going to play the first part, then we'll have a wee discussion. We'll play the second part, have another wee discussion, and then we'll open the lines. How does that sound to these guys? Right, get your cell phone mute. Let's hear for your goalkeeper, Jack Butland.
Jack, how does it feel to be throwing your weight behind this campaign? I suppose at clubs of this size, it comes with a nice kind of responsibility at times to try and make a difference.
Really good. I think over the course of my career, I've been very fortunate to be at some fantastic clubs that do a lot of work for charity, and I've always enjoyed being a part of it as well. I think when you're at somewhere like this, and as a player, you have a great responsibility, and you can do a lot of help and obviously raise a lot of awareness. So really happy to be involved, and a lot of money's been raised so far, and hopefully we can keep that going. Everything's coming quite thick and fast at the moment. How do you wake up and reflect on last night? Yeah, you're tired, disappointed on the night before, but the beauty of playing for this club is there's another opportunity coming thick and fast. An opportunity to push and try and take another step in the league, obviously where we're trying to make up ground and trying to really focus on ourselves and make sure that we can start putting a string of wins together. Obviously games like last night are tough to take, but you can't dwell on it regardless of how it feels. You've got to learn from it, move on, and we've got to deliver a win on the weekend. How frustrating is it at the moment? Because I suppose in isolation, losing to Roma, there's maybe no sort of shame in that, but you're catching up for previous mistakes earlier on in the campaign, which makes every game maybe feel a bit of a... Don't look at it like that, because every game that we play is an opportunity to win. Playing against big sides like that, like we are ourselves, it's a great opportunity to get a great win. So definitely don't feel like it's a game that we can accept and mark it down as one that we don't deserve. We don't believe in that. You know, it's an opportunity to have a fantastic European night at home, where we had great support from the fans and had a great opportunity to get a really good result. So what goes before is sort of irrelevant. You know, it's an opportunity to win. Didn't manage to do that. So for us, it's about picking the group up as quick as we can and making sure that we go up to Dundee on Sunday and win, and look forward in the league. How important is the league to try and make sure this doesn't unravel? We know the League Cup obviously went this week. Europe's now looking extremely difficult. Yeah. I'm not saying you can ever apply extra focus to the league, but it must feel really important that you do start making headway in that competition. No, you can't. It's always been the ultimate and the main focus. However, it's the bread and butter. It's what's expected of you, and it's what we need to go and do. Could you say more focus? Look, we're disappointed about some of the performances in other competitions, but as far as the league goes, we have to focus on ourselves, and we've got to go and win on the weekend. That's the bottom line. Something that, as the boys start to come in today, we'll be looking to pick people up, try and be as positive as we can, and make sure that we go there full of confidence on the weekend. Jack, I mean, just looking at the league table in the Europa League, 4 games, no points, sitting 36 out of 36. I mean, for a team that made the quarter-finals last year, for yourself, is that really hard to get your head around, that things have flipped quite so far? Yeah, it is. It's difficult. I think it's difficult for everybody at the club. What we all hope to see, compared to where we're at, is obviously what's creating a lot of frustration, a lot of tension, and on all sides, from a fan, from staff, from players. There's obviously a massive amount of frustration in that sense. A lot's changed. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of moving parts, a lot of new players. Now that's no excuse, but it's a reality, and it's something that we need to do better with. Regardless of how that Europa League table finishes, we can't accept where we're at right now, regardless of what's happened. So it's something that we need to take personally, something that we need to do better in the remaining 4 games and see where that takes us. Dwelling on it and putting fuel to the fire of the stats of it and how many we've lost and things like that is, it's only going to bog you down. What we need to do is focus on the next one, focus on the next game in the league, and when the next European game comes around, it's must win if we want to advance in the competition.
Just going back to Sunday last week, you're involved in a pretty high-profile incident just before half-time. Can we just get your take on that incident with Austin Trusty? Did you think it should have been a red card?
Yes, I think there's been a lot of opinions on it. At the time, I thought it was late. Was there a massive amount of malice involved? Not necessarily, but was it mistimed as a keeper when you're putting yourself in that position to go and be brave and going to intercept a ball? You'd like to think that you're protected in a sense from things like that. Seeing it afterwards, it was perhaps later than I thought in real time as well. So a difficult one to accept. I think obviously conversations that have been had since, difficult to accept that that's perhaps a precedent that is going to continue if that's a similar situation against any team, regardless of who it is. That there's a little bit disappointed that between all the staff that day from a refereeing side, that's the result that it came to. It's one you feel as a keeper that when you're going into those situations, yes, we have the benefit of being able to use our hands and perhaps be a little bit more physical at times, but when you're entitled to go for the ball at players' feet and things like that, yes, it can be a byproduct of getting hit. That's just part and parcel of the game, but late ones and clumsy ones like that, you like to feel that there was something done a bit different. But I think the club will make a statement. I think there'll be more discussions on it just for a few more answers. But I think I share the views of probably the majority on it.
The club has released a statement on Monday night. They've got numerous concerns over some of the refereeing decisions that went against them recently. I'm thinking back to the League Cup final against Celtic with the incident with Václav when he gets pulled in the box and it's not pulled back by VAR. Have you been frustrated with some of the high-profile decisions that have went against your team in recent seasons?
Yeah, I think it's I think it's all relative. We focus on what sort of directly affects us. Have we been disappointed with some of it? Yeah, I think we have been. All that you can ask is that regardless of how it's happened and what decisions were made at the time, that improvements are being made and ultimately the right decisions are going to get made moving forward. I'm not going to sort of put any fuel to that fire either, but we play in a competitive league. We play in a league where things can happen. And obviously with the addition of all the assistance that the referees perhaps get nowadays, that we can only hope moving forward and the right decisions get made and it stays as fair as it possibly can.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Some interesting stuff there, Albert. Jack Butland, you with us, pal?
I'm back, aye.
Yep, good. Bridge, you there, yeah? Aye.
I'm good, pal.
You.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Right, Albert, what did you make of some of the stuff that Butland was saying there, about last night's game, and then you can touch on what happened with the potential red card with Trusty last week?
Oh, the game last night, there's very little to talk about, mate, let's be honest, but it was tried. They put effort in. You can't complain about effort. They put effort in. It's just outclassed, mate. We've no quality in the team. If we have, it's very, very little. So you're getting beat with just better teams just running right. It was a training session for Roma last night, if truth be told. They never even got out of first gear. It was as simple as that, mate. Now, we could pick fault and near enough every player on the party. You could come out with some players were playing well and all this. No, it's garbage, mate. It's just garbage. You're watching a team, it's not a team. You're watching players, they don't know what they're doing. That's every department, man. That's just no one department. That's every department of the team. Some of the players have just not got a clue what they're doing, man. That's not a day with rule or anything like that. That's just players just don't know what they're doing. You're asking them to fulfil a position, and they can't do it. They just simply can't do it. You put them up against any challenge, It doesn't even need to be in our league. It doesn't even need to be any quality. It's just a challenge. They fall down flat in their face. They're incapable, mate. This team's incapable of doing anything properly. It's sad to see. Every big game we come up now, we lose. We don't even compete in most of the big games, and it's bad to watch. It's getting worse and worse, mate. I feel sorry for the manager. He's sitting there and he doesn't know. He's trying to do everything to mould this into some sort of unit, and he doesn't. Look, Roma last night, if we'd have played as a team, we might not have beat them, but they'd have known they were in a game. They're just playing with individuals that's running the boot, know what they're doing. Raskin, for example, and I'm not just picking on Raskin or anybody else for that matter, he just wants to do what he wants to do. He never done anything last night. What he's good at, he doesn't do because he's that focused on trying to do everybody else's job. Same as your man Tavernier and players like that. But that's what happens when you start playing bad and you're on a bad team. Players start to hold on to the ball too long. They just don't want to release it. They're thinking to themselves, I don't want to get the other players. I want to do it. I want to be the best player. No, it's selfish and it's good at the same time that you can see they're trying to do something, but it's not good for. Overall, it's not good for the team. It doesn't turn you into a good team. But you had a few shocking displays. But what Butland's saying is true. You can't focus on it, mate. There's not everything that's been said about this game. It was said prior to this show going on tonight. Everything. You've heard it all over the podcast. You've heard it all over the Rangers sites. Everything has been said. It's been said before in the past this season about this team. There's nothing else to say about them, mate. They're stinking. That's basically it. They're just a stinking team or non-team. With some real bad players in it. Bang, below average players, mate. At best, you get an average player. We've not even got that, mate. It's bad. So you're sitting there last night watching this, and everybody knew as soon as that first goal went in, the game was done. Everybody in that stadium knew it. We're not coming back for this. And then you're just waiting for the second one. The second one comes, and then Roma just turned into a practice session, mate. It really was. It was just a practice session. They never got first gear. If they had to go up another couple of gears, mate, they took 4, 5, 6 off us, mate. No bother. It wouldn't even been that difficult to do it. Yeah, that's how bad that was last night. You get up the road trying to discuss something. What do you discuss? All we discuss now is, who was the worst out of them all? They're all bad, but who's the worst? That's all you talk about now. Who was the worst tonight? Suter was getting it last night. Chermany was getting it the other games. He was getting a bit of it last night. It's crap, mate. It's just crap to watch now. The support don't support the team now, mate. They just run and moan because there's nothing to get happy about and cheer on. In fact, we actually cheered the corner kick last night. We got a corner kick and we cheered it. That's how bad this has got. And it's not the support. I'm not blaming the support in any shape, form, or size, mate. But they spend all their time trying to get rid of people at the club. We spend all our time moaning about players. We spend all our time greeting and moaning. And we spend very, very little time supporting the team. And it's a hard team to support because they really are poor beyond belief. But at the end of the day, it's just we're in a vicious circle. We're in a vicious circle as a support. We're in a vicious circle as a club. And we're finding it really difficult to get out of this situation. But get out of this situation we must. What I'm more interested in finding out how you get out of it. There's no point in talking about this team and talking about these players. Everything's been said, so we may as well start concentrating on January. Wait, what's going to happen in January? The players that we need, we can't afford. Let me get that in your head. No matter how much you spend in January, the players we need, we can't afford. And that's what it is. Thelwell tried to do too much, too soon, with too little. That's what he tried. And he went to the shopping down at the Championship, mate, and that's what he done. And it's all blew up in his face. I was saying, keep blue up Thelwell. I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is this is what he tried to do. He tried to change too many players too quickly with too little cash. 12 players. You can't change 12 players all the time. How many players is that we've changed? There's about 30 odd players we've changed out of 2 windows. It's crazy, mate. It's just crazy. Unsustainable.
A lot of home truths there, Bridgeman. And listen, can't argue with any of that. I think all bears talking for the heart as well as what is watching. We've said it many times on the show, our eyes don't lie to us. And the impression I got last night is Rangers brought a knife to a gunfight. We had no chance. And
Well,
Roma were better all over the park, and the goals that we're losing, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. You know that we can't defend a corner with that zonal marking system that we've got. We always seem to lose the first header of the front post, and it causes all sorts of anarchy. 3 of their players could actually put that away last night because we don't have men in the posts, we don't have an out ball, we don't have somebody that's going to willing to go and win the ball that's in the air to be one, because if we're standing position, we're geeing up the runners that's coming on to us. We don't block anything, we do nothing as a defence. In the second goal, Big Suitor's caught with the long ball, Uri's head, Tavernier's drawn to the ball, he leaves his man, edge of the box, 2-0. Your thoughts, Bridge?
Look, their second goal was a classic anti-Rangers goal, Don't we just do this? We're the best in the country at doing that. Losing a goal. Why are we losing a goal? Because we got 2 guys from the right side of the defence, and where they can't play football and defensively, and that's Tavernier and Suter. They cannot play defensively. I've tried to tell you, I've tried to say that for the last 2.5 years now. They cannot play football in a defensive manner. You need defenders to do that, and we don't have any. But I think what the goalkeeper said made a lot of sense. I loved what Albert was saying, because I just shut my eyes, and that was me ranting away yesterday. And I was on phoning my brothers and saying all that again, and other things that Albert said is I think 90% of Rangers fans think the same way. It's just the truth. We are very poor. From a club perspective, we should be totally embarrassed with the way we played. This is our home at Ibrox, and they absolutely bossed us all over the pitch. They bossed us, and the easy way they did it. They're taking the ball. They only need one touch, and they're passing it to the man running on, and it's all there. It's all there for everybody to see. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't we do that? Why can't we do it? We get players that just take their eye off the ball, and the ball goes away somewhere. You get a sitter, 2 or 3 sitters. Actually, about maybe 5 or 6 good chances last night. Never made a mark on it. Just no right. We're no right, and there's nothing the Rangers fans can do. We've just got to persist and keep going, and hopefully the manager can keep us going in the league anyway, up until the end of the year, to be getting into the next transfer window, and hopefully buy even 1 or 2 really good players. It could make a big difference. I don't know how many youngsters we done last night. Mikey Moore, and Gazman. These guys they're no seasoned pros, shall we say? And sometimes you need the seasoned pro. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. You need 2 of them. But look, I've asked you all about. I've said it all the time. Look at our defence. Our goalkeeper's under pressure. A whole load of that game, our goalkeeper's under pressure, but he still managed to make do men insofar as saving's concerned. He failed with a couple of long passes right at the park and things like that, So we can't praise him that much, but at least he tried. Seriously, the rest of them, not right. An example with young Connor Barham, marvellous wee player and run all day, all night. But when he gets the ball, he tries to build it in, and before you know, he's going back the way with the ball at his feet, and he's going back and he's going back, and then he tries to come back into midfield. Sometimes he gets there, and other times he doesn't, and he loses the ball. So somewhere around about the halfway line, maybe 5 or 10 yards either side, Connor Barham will lose that ball in there, and it'll cause chaos. And he's not the only one. Tavernier is a nightmare, an absolute nightmare at the moment. He takes good penalties, but a nightmare. So I'm not going to say any more too much about him, otherwise I'll start crying,
No bother. Listen, Albert, I think it's pretty clear that none of the team is functioning as a team. Defensively, poor structure in the midfield, and obviously up front we're no scoring or no creating enough chances either. Start of this calendar year under Clement, we'd actually broke a record for, what was it, most undefeated away from home in Europe for Rangers in our entire history. Well, currently we're 7 games in a row lost in Europe. Again, that's an unwanted record here, but it just underlines how poor we are as a team. And that's 3 managers later. You say that you sack Clement, there's no guarantee getting better. Well, we've had Barry Ferguson, we've had Russell Martin, and I've now got Danny Rowe. You know, so we're no further forward way making that decision. So,
Not an inch. Not an
No.
inch, mate. We've not moved an inch. And it's down to recruitment. It's been down to recruitment. It's not just this set of recruitment. It's been the recruitment under Clement, under Beale. Van Bronckhorst. If he'd actually recruited properly for Van Bronckhorst, that wee man would have got you a good team. I think he would have only won the league, mate, if he'd have gotten the right players. But we didn't. The recruitment has been poor. We keep talking about these directors of football as well, as if these are some gurus that's going to come in and make everything better. You sit and go, what's happening now? I heard, I think it was Billy going on about the manager should get the choice. He should pick the players. We've tried that with Clement, Beale. That didn't work. Clement didn't even have a director of football at the time. He was doing everything. That didn't work. It's a case of, I'm going to go on about it again. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with myself saying this, by the way. Building a team's not an easy thing. It's just simply not an easy thing. But we seem to think it's a simple thing. Just go out and buy a dozen players, throw them all together, tell them to go out there and start playing and go on and winning these cups, leagues, and whatever you're in. I wish it was that simple, mate. Everybody would do it. As I say, the Premiership, the way they build teams is just buy hundreds of players because they can afford to buy hundreds of players. One time Chelsea's squad was something like 60 players. So you're sitting going, they didn't get all of them right. So scattergun approach to it, mate. Just buy enough players that you'll stumble upon a team. That's what happens down there. Manchester United have been doing it for years now. And they might have now just stumbled on the makings of a half-decent team. After all that money spent and after all the years, we're in the boat. We can't do that. We need to be very choosy who we bring into the club. We need to be as certain as you possibly can be, which is there is no certainties. But what we're doing is criminal, mate. It's just criminal. We're buying 2, 3, 4, 5 and £8 million players, and they're crap. You go, well, buy a £250,000 player. You'll be crap as well, probably, but it's only cost you £250,000. Save yourself a fortune. Your quality will not go up any. It'll probably go down further. But that's what we're doing now, but spending a fortune to do it. It's madness, mate. It's complete and utter madness. Blame Thelwell, blame whoever you want to blame, but the bottom line is we've not got enough people in the club who know what they're doing, and that's a fact. Because we all take a stab at it. We don't know what we're doing. We're supporters. We all think we know what we're doing. Could I build a team? No, I couldn't build a team. No professional team. I've never heard anybody come out with any ideas that could build a team. But we seem to think that we're just going to magically build this team. You got to have the people in place that know what they're doing, mate. And this is where Kavanagh needs to come into his own, mate. People kept saying that man is a clever man. Look, he's a multi-billionaire. He's talking to Ox today about this. He's a multi-billionaire. He's a smart man. But you know why he's a multi-billionaire and why he's a smart man? He gets the right people in the right position, doing the right job. At the moment, he's been sold a pup. He's come into British football, both Glasgow Rangers, and he's took advice off of people to bring in Thelwell, bring in Stuart. Stuart actually was actually a fifth columnist when he came to Rangers at first. He was brought in to do the audit on Rangers in the lead up for them to buy. That's a fact. And he's remained in place. At the end of the day, Kavanagh must be sitting looking at it going, well, that didn't work out well. The people are listening to bring these people into the club. They sold me a pup here, and they've all been sold a pup. So his genius is, today, if I was Kavanagh, the first thing I'd be doing is calling a board meeting, mate, sitting down with the board and saying nothing and listening to these board members. You need to understand how their thinking's gone, mate. And once you've got what their thinking's all about and what we're looking at the club and the future, what they see as a future for the club, you take it for there. And then you walk away from that, and then you go and take advice, mate. Advice for other people outside the Rangers and saying, right, okay, what's the best way forward here? Who are the people of quality within the football world? Because the football world's full of blowhards and full full of people that don't know what they're doing, but they get jobs. It's jobs for the boys in a circle of the professional game, and there's a lot of blowhards in it. All you need to do to prove that point is listen to some of these pundits. They're just total and utter blowhards. They shouldn't be getting paid for what they're doing. But anyway, you don't listen to them. It's trying to sift through the garbage to get to the quality, mate. That's really it is. And Rangers are just right thick in the garbage, and we can't seem to get out of it. We just keep making them same mistakes over and over again. So Kavanagh needs to use his genius, picking the right staff, and how he does that, because he knows nothing about the Scottish game. He knows nothing about football, really, does he? So he's sitting saying he needs to rely on people, but before he relies on people, he needs to get the right people to understand who he should be looking at. At the moment, we don't. I mean, who picked Thelwell? Who in the right mind picked Thelwell? They're his boys. Team Norwich are sitting in the relegation third bottom for the sitting the third bottom. You're sitting going, we've brought the guy that's got a team that's brought players to the identified players to the team that are sitting third bottom in the league. What kind of recommendations is that? Thelwell at Everton. He bought the boy from at Everton, didn't work out, and then he goes and buys him again for Rangers. That's crazy, mate. That's just all crazy stuff.
Right.
I'm not going to
we've got a 2-hour show here. You just hold on to your ladder a wee bit. We can always come back to it. So,
well, ask me what I thought about the game.
I know.
There's nothing to talk about the game. There's nothing to talk about the game. You want to talk about something.
Just hold your waist. I've heard about that problem before. You've got. We're going to play the second part of Jack Butland's interview, but there's a lot of interesting stuff you said there, Albert, and there's a lot of stuff I agree with. I'm sure there's callers out there they'll want to say as well. So let's hear from Jack Butland.
I just asked you, Jack, about the atmosphere last night. You know, a lot of, nothing that you guys can control, but a lot of anger directed towards the director's box. As a player within that, when things aren't going well on the pitch anyway, when you add that level of toxicity, how difficult is it to sort of rally yourself as a team when there is this going on around you?
Listen, I think there's a lot of, and toxic is a very harsh word. I think there's, as we spoke about, the word frustration. I know it's one that we've said a lot. There is a lot of that because the fans expect more than what perhaps we've delivered. It's certainly how I feel. I know the group feels as well, that we definitely need to set our standards and know where we should be higher than where we are in competitions and have done better than what we have done. And the fans are entitled to vent their frustrations where they feel they're going to. It's been directed at us as players, rightly so at times. But this is our group right now, and this is what we need to move forward with. And we've got a really big stretch of games now until January where I believe if we get things moving in the right direction, and as a group we get better and learn some of the lessons that we've had recently, that we can make things a lot more positive than they feel right now, with a manager that's pushing us, and that the fans are behind. And I think it's an opportunity for us to do with this group is to, prove a lot of people wrong. What happens and what the fans vent their frustrations at is completely up to them, and we'll never step in the way of that. But we need to move forward as a club and as a group, and keep giving the fans wins to cheer for, and hopefully make them and help them focus on a positive team on the pitch.
The reason I say toxic, one banner in particular had a target at Patrick Stewart and Kevin Thelwell in terms of at their heads. Is that too far?
Yeah, I'm not. We know that, and we're all aware that the banners have been there, the different things, and we've also seen the amazing tifos that they've put up. There's a balance to it. I'm not going to get involved in it. The fans pay their hard-earned money to come and watch us and what they expect to see on the pitch. Listen, it's never nice. We don't want to be in this situation where there is that. I want to be here, and I want to see this team and the fans as a real unity together, being successful, and having some incredible times together, which we have done and I've experienced, and perhaps we haven't as a group yet, but it's a possibility, and we can achieve that. So I'm going to stay away from that, because it's a difficult time for the club, and everyone's entitled to their frustrations and their way of venting it. As players, we need to focus on what we need to do, and that's play on the pitch.
Just a word on Dundee as well. It's shown that when they play against the bigger teams, they can rise to it. How tough a match are you expecting Swindens.
Expecting a tough one. You know, it's never easy, and obviously at the minute, because of our own performances, teams perhaps feel like they've got more of a chance. That's something that we need to stamp out quick, and we can do that by going there on the weekend and putting together a really good performance and taking away the 3 points from them, and come back down the road with a win. And that's the only thing that we can do, is focus on that. I'm sure they'll rise to it. I'm sure they will put out a plan and be as good as they can possibly be. But we have to believe and know that we're better, and we need to go there and win the game.
Jack, it's obviously been a difficult start to the campaign. How do you reflect on your own performances so far this year?
Listen, I'm my own harshest critic. I've been really pleased. I think in a lot of games I've made some really important moments for us as a club. But I'm also the first person to question any little thing in a game. So I'm always pushing that. Believe I've made really important contributions to the team this year, and I'm really focused on trying to do that going forward as well.
Given that there's so much noise off the park in terms of referees, in terms of protests and such, how do you as a senior player and how do the squad as a whole try and channel that into something positive on the park?
You're right. It can galvanise a team sometimes when you're up against it. As players, as individuals, you have to stand up to it. Experienced boys leading by example, trying to perform themselves and help the others out. And ultimately around the building here, picking people up today, because I'm sure there'll be a few that are feeling a bit low. But we have to go again. We have to bounce back from that. So that's a responsibility of an experienced player in this group, to process the disappointment of last night, and pick everyone up, be positive, because there's a game around the corner that we need to win. Fully believe that we will do. So yeah, experienced player, lead by example, pick the lads up that need it today, and go again with an opportunity to play for this club and get 3 wins in a row in the league, and create some positivity in that sense and kick on after the break.
Last couple, guys. Jack, do you as a group sort of feel right now that you've maybe been written off in a sense by people looking in, even within the Rangers support itself to an extent? And if so, how can you use that maybe to do what you're just saying, pick everyone up and kick on?
I think the statement of the fans prior to the game yesterday shows that no one's given up on anything, and they haven't given up on their team. That's certainly not how we feel. You know, your fans don't go to that amount of effort to turn up, and the tifos and the support that you get, you know, they're always behind us and they're going to be there. So as players, that's something amazing to have, but we have to bring it. It's not. It's a difficult time, but it's one where you have an opportunity to stand up. The club's always going to be under the microscope. As players, you're always under the microscope with your performance, with the results. It's about sticking your chest out and getting on with it and standing up to the challenge and being better. So that's all we can do as a group. That's the message, and that's all that there is to focus on is us.
Jack, with regards to last Sunday, did you speak to Nick Walsh at the end of the game? A reason I ask is presumably you guys are just seeking for clarity, you're seeking consistency of decisions. When you think back to Tannadice last season, the same referee sent off Mohamed Diomande for seemingly less serious collision, if you like. Is that something you tried to speak to the officials about it during the game, at the end of the game?
Spoke to him about it at half time. Not at the end of the game, because listen, the game's been and gone at that point. I was looking for some clarity at the time. I'm not going to go into individuals and whether we've got a different referee this weekend, and obviously hoping the standard is top. Like I said, I think it's just it's a situation where between the referee and all the staff that you're looking for communication between them, calm communication between them, that they go through things and come to the right decision. Obviously since then, and the statements that have been made is that they're happy with that. And if that's the way that they're going, then it's got to continue like that.
Last one.
Jack, can I just ask, obviously I think you've got another year on your contract beyond this. I mean, given the way things are going, the frustrations, the difficulties the team have, I think you came here to win medals. You've only achieved one of that so far. I mean, do you have any thoughts in your long-term future? Would you like to stay here beyond the terms of your current deal?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd like to think people can see that in the way that I am and the way that I approach my time here and the way that I apply myself on and off the pitch for this club as someone that's committed to this club. Like I said, I still have another year after this. The focus is on winning games and no more than that on the weekend. For me, I joined here for a reason. I still have that belief and I still have that desire to do that. And with over a year and a half left, there's really nothing to discuss other than the fact of getting my head down and trying to be as good as I can for this club.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks again for that, Fox. He speaks well, Bridgeman, Jack Butland. He holds himself well with the media. He's comfortable there. He bats away questions. They're trying to dig something out of him, obviously, about last Sunday. But let's touch on last Sunday. Tonight, the SFA key match incident panel voted 2-1 in favour that Thursday should have seen red. Your thoughts, Bridge? And keep it clean now.
Well, there's very, very few Rangers fans, in all honesty, think it wasn't a red card. I don't know of any, but there may be some. To me, Stonewall, the goalkeeper's lying. He's lying in the pitch, ball with in his grasp against his midriff and his chest, and all of a sudden a boot comes in and hits him in the face. I'm sorry, I don't care who it is. I don't care where it comes from. That's a red card. 100% red card. As far as I'm concerned, there's no argument. I don't understand anybody. You mentioned it scored from the officials. It was like a 2-1 result, and you got to say who was the one that said no. Seriously, guys.
Peter Lywell, I believe. Peter Lywell. I just don't understand it. That's a number of times. I was asking you earlier. I think we're talking 8 or 9 in the last few years that this has happened to Rangers, and it's every single time for me. We get, and not necessarily as serious as that from a red card perspective, but you see their favourite ploy for us is they just don't give us decisions. They don't give us decisions because it's an easy way out. Somebody comes in and clatters somebody. Oh well, I'll just let it play on. That's it. You get the give. I'm going to get me started. I think the worst in play thing was a young boy plays for them, right back Johnson, and he palmed the ball out the park. And it was a goal kick. The time all the crap's finished with this, that, and the next thing, it was a number one was a corner, right? And I don't even remember properly if he was actually in the box and palmed out of the park. Do you know what I mean? But never mind, it was at least a corner for us, if not a penalty, and we get nothing. Gave it a goal kick. So they've been getting away with it for years now. Every single game we play against them, if there's a controversy in it, it'll be round about that. And for the last few years, there's been these panels have come out and said something, and we find out that the SFA are sending Rangers an apology, and that's probably what that was. An apology. By the way, they need to apologise for that. Well, although I do want their apologies as a recognition, what I want them to do is give us whatever it was. We should have got a penalty, and let's assume that Tavernier would have scored it, or you know what I mean, or the player would have been sent off with a red card. Get it done, but no, they'll get it. No get it. It's funny, Bridge, you bring up that incident with Alistair Johnson. The referee that day was Nick Walsh, and it was Willie Collum that was on VAR. Anyway, Albert, Jack Butland speaks about the protection or the lack of with the referee. I think he's got a very valid point there. That if the referee's only punishing that sort of incident, when he's collected the ball in his hands, it's no up for. It's the ball's no loose, it's in his grasp, but he's got control of it, and he still takes a kick to the head. It's not right. It's not right, and I think Jack Butland made a brilliant point with bringing that up. That Are you saying now that anything goes now with the keepers? You're allowed to do that because that's the precedent that Nick Walsh has gave them, but the SFA have went against that today, probably to cover themselves more than anything.
Well, they've gave a 2-1 decision to deflect away from Walsh's utter inefficiency as a referee. That's what they've done, mate. They want you to talk about the board voting 2-1. That's what they want you to talk about. It's a fact. What we really need is when are they kicking Walsh out the game? Because he should be kicked out the game now, mate. He's got a litany of this carry on. He's just an incompetent wee clown. He's just lying and cheating now. The same as Colum did at Parkhead as well. Because I think Colum was the referee that day, mate. With Johnson.
Colum was bar. Colum was definitely bar that day because he came back to Sky about half an hour later and no 100% Nick Walsh was the referee that day.
Well,
and
that's just another one for that. That's another one for that clown. But what did they do to Colum as well when he done the line about the video and all this carry on and they took it back to what do you call it? Took it back 3 minutes and all that for offsides and all that. Just blatant lying. And at half time here's why we gave that decision. You know what I mean? It was nonsense today. I remember the day well. He got promoted for that, mate, because Rangers said, right, he shouldn't be refereeing a game ever again for us, against us. And what did they do? I will do something about that. So rather than anything else, they promoted him. Other people in for that job, but they promoted Willie Colum. You know what I mean? The guy's a wee clown. He's a wee cheat and a wee liar himself. He's a clown. And then we'll get this other clown of Walsh. But there's plenty of them, mate. I mean, it's not just them, but Walsh is now getting into he's getting into a class he's in now, mate. I'm not interested in whether he's seen it. I'm not interested in a 2-1 vote. I'm not interested what anybody is saying. I want to know when they're going to sack that clown. He should be kicked out of football, mate. It's a case of Jack Butland's right. You've now said it's okay to kick goalkeepers in the head. That's fine, mate. As long as you don't do it really hard, but you're allowed to kick them in the head now. He's just made that rule up himself. He came out of nowhere. The rule states clearly that if you endanger an opposition and kicking somebody in the head, and by the way, it wasn't an accidental kick. It was meant to be kicked. He was meant to kick him in the head. That's okay. That's allowed. So for my point, you ask Walsh a simple question. You can't say you didn't see it because you gave a yellow card. So you did see it. You just decided not to give the red card when it said it's and you know the rule yourself. It's not like, I didn't know the rule. If you're saying you didn't know the rule, what you're refereeing at this level for? No matter what he's going to say, he should be sacked, mate. He should be kicked out of football, refereeing. Get him out, mate. He needs to go. He's a wee rat, a total wee rat. And he's been at it all the time. We can list things that he's done against us. I dare say there's other teams that can list what they've done against them. But I'll tell you one thing, Celtic can't say there's a list that he done against them or any other referee for that matter. So every other team in the league can list things that these referees have done against them. I mean, they're totally incompetent, but he is top of the incompetent league. Walsh, definitely, mate. And I want him out. And I want Rangers to come out and say, no, he's no refereeing any more of our games. Done with him. And that corner and all. He's no running lines or VAR official in our games because they've already proved, mate. They're biased. They're biased towards the team that they support. And that can't go on, mate. That just simply can't be allowed to go on any longer. If you're going to do this, well, okay, then that's it. Game's done. Game's a bogey. They tell you that you need referees to have a game, and that's true. But you need to have honest referees that are going to apply, enforce the laws of the game on the game. And that's all they're there to do, mate. No more than that. That's all they're there to do. But he's decided, no, I don't like their laws. I'm going to make up my own laws because some of the laws at times are going against my team. No, I'm just going to bend the rules here. And that's what's happening, mate. It's as simple as that. That's what's happening. And you can't dress it up any other way than that. That's what's happening. And they'll come out with, what about this and what about that? Oh, what about it? Jack Butland get kicked in the head and the guy got away with it. And that's the facts. That's the start and end of the story, mate. There's nothing more to say than that. So Rangers, with their statement, was fine. I want them to do more, mate. I want them to say, we're not having this guy in refereeing our games ever again. He's done, mate. It's got to go.
Aye, I think Jack Butland's actually intimating there, Bridge, that it's no finish with. I think Rangers possibly take it further. How they take it further or what they're looking for, I don't really know. But if you remember right, season before last, or was it last season, 2024 March, Celtic go to Tynecastle and Rodgers comes out with beaten. He was on VAR that day. They got a red card. Celtic have not had a red card since. And they average over 10 fouls per game for the yellow card even to go unpunished basically, and that's what they're doing. I mean, last week there Celtic had 26 fouls. They get 6 yellow cards. Granted, most of them were second half, but we had half of the fouls. We get 3 yellows and a red. It's not right, and the fact that we played with 80 minutes with 10 men was a contributing factor to the end result in the game, because we're one each after 90 minutes, Bridge. It goes to extra time. Our players are knackered, and they're knackered for one reason, because they're having to do, run space where a man should be there, and Celtic are strolling it because they've got the 11 men where they should be down to 10 and possibly down to 9, because Ralston should have seen. Maeda could have seen red for numerous fouls. Cal McGregor could have seen red. They'll probably say Cornelius for us could have seen red. But we're just asking for fairness. That's all we're doing, Bridge.
We're never going to get fairness. Forgive me. That sounds a spectacular lie, doesn't it? We're never going to get fairness in this league. We've been saying it since we got picked down to the 3rd division. Well, we didn't get picked down. We decided to go down to the 3rd division. That's what we went for, rather than take whatever they wanted to give us, and be hung on to them. So, as far as I'm concerned, ever since that happened, when they decided they didn't want us in the Premier League, then that's fine. So, and all the clubs that voted can hang their head in shame. We're the ones that are going to be driving things forward from a monetary perspective. Not winning in competitions, but by the fans. And our fans are driving force. We're lining people's pockets. Although, I must admit, the other clubs are starting to hold back on Rangers fans coming in. I don't know if they're doing the same to them. They're holding back on fans coming in, and they're reducing it. Instead of letting 30,000 fans into their state, just for saying sake, they're only allowing 10. So they're cutting off their nose to spite their face. And I think, well, good. That's what I think. But I think Jack Buckland, came back to him. I think when he was asked the question, do you think it should have been a red card? Just do you think it should have been a red card? And I thought he bottled that. And I think he does think it should have been a red card, but I thought he bottled it. Unless I've picked it up wrong, you can get me corrected. That's what I think.
No, he didn't really answer it, but Diamondi was actually posed with the same question prior to the European game, Albert, in his presser, and he turned it round about on the journalist. Do you think it was a red card?
That's exactly it, mate. These clowns are asking this question of Buckland, knowing fine well if he answers it the way they want him to answer it, he's in trouble. So they're trying to deflect. This is what these questions are about. They're trying to deflect and get the clickbait and get it all taken away for what happened in the game, Walsh and Trusty and all that carry on. Right, the guilty parties, they're trying to get it away from them now. They're trying to, because it's Stonewall, 100% wrong decision, and it's bordering on cheating. If not, it is cheating. And they're wanting to get you away from it. So they're asking your players, they're asking your manager, they'll ask anybody, they'll ask the dog in the street, they'll ask anybody to get it deflected away. But keep focused on it, mate. Walsh has to go. That's Rangers' stance. That's my stance. That should be Rangers' stance as well. And all the Rangers supporters as well. He has to go. He has to fall on his sword for that, mate. That was one clowny decision too far. I'm not even saying it's a mistake, because it wasn't a mistake. It was intentional, mate. A mistake means, I didn't know the rule. We shouldn't have been a game. I didn't see it. You did see it. You booked a guy. So you've now decided to come up with your own idea of why that wasn't a red card. When fine, you knew it should have been a red card. You gave the reasons for not sending him off. Oh, I'm a Celtic supporter. You may as well come out and just say that. They say, well, fine. I've understood why you didn't do it then. Same as Connor. Lying, cheating in that the VAR room. I didn't want to get that penalty because I support Celtic. Well, that's fine. We understand now. Now we're not going to get hoodwinked or have to listen to this bull crap that everybody's coming out with now.
Albert.
Yep.
Bear, I was going to say, it's funny you touched on that. I don't know if you take much notice of what happens down south, but Howard Webb is the equivalent of Willie Collum down there. And under a wee bit of scrutiny for the public, they decided that he asked all his officials if they supported any team or whatever, they must, give it. And Willie Collum point blank refused to follow that line for obvious reasons. So I think it's not only Nick, I think it's not only Nick Walsh that should be going after no to referee another game for us again. Frank Connor never to be involved in another game for us again, but I think they should be calling for Willie Collum's heat out of this as well, because it was him that put the officials together for that game. I mean, who in their right mind would give Nick Walsh that sort of game when at the end of last season we've got a goal, perfectly good goal at Easter Road, he point blanks, refuses to give it, and then let Hibs go up the other end of the park and score. He sends off Diamandi for a slap that never existed. He went against the VAR. Willie Collum put these guys in charge of that match to get them over the line.
That's correct. That's correct. 100%.
Aye, Albert.
It's been said, mate. Don't sway yourself. You don't have to reconvince yourself and everybody else that Walsh is a hopeless referee, mate. It's already, evidence is already there. Now we're at the stage, and there's a full stop after this. He has to get sacked. He has to get booted out of the referee. Full stop. End of. That's it, finished, mate. As far as I'm concerned, the Rangers should take that stance. And that's what they should be pushing for. There is nowhere else to go, mate, with this. You can't go to arbitration or independent organisation anywhere to say, oh, something needs to be done about this. This is not right. It's done. They've put their complaint in. The SFA have done their silly wee daft thing after the game. Now it'll go to the end of the month. You have to wait a month till Wally tells you or comes up with an excuse of why that wasn't a red card. Know what I mean? Same as they done with the carry on with Johnston. So that's all done, mate. You follow the process, and there is nowhere to go. They know there's nowhere to go. I mean, that's why they're all still in place all the time. The only thing you've got left is to say we actually want him booted out the game, and we don't want that corner to be involved in any of our games ever again. He's actually running the line of the team he supports. It's on a well-known fact. It's crazy, mate. It's just totally crazy, and that's fine if he was saying, right, I'm going to do it fairly. But he's already proved he's no going to do it. These are no made up by us. These are facts that's happening here, mate. So you got to look at it and say, Walsh has to go. That's the stance. He has to go. It's no. He's going to end up getting somebody a serious injury, that clown. I mean, because he's just open season on the goalkeepers now. That's what Butland was trying to tell us. It's just he's opened the open season on goalkeepers now.
Bridge, we've actually already had an apology this year when Hearts beat us at Ibrox, if you remember, the Shankland handball.
Yes, absolutely.
Kilmarnock got a penalty given against them in the dying minutes. And who was the team they gave? Oh, I was Celtic for that one as well. So the damage has already been done. The apologies is useless.
But the thing is, they think we're all stupid. We probably are, actually, to a certain extent. But they think we're all stupid and we don't notice. I'm saying that, right? We won't notice it. We'll not say nothing. But I'm not for that. I want somebody at the top of our club here, somebody who's responsible for our club and all the players and the fans and everything. And he goes up there and says, that's rubbish. Put it down. This is what happened, and I want an apology for it. They've got one over there side of the city. They've got one there. So I want somebody like a big bulldog right up in front, right in their face, and demand and demand and demand. And that's what we need to do. And if anything happens, we want a meeting. And then we start to pick out the ones that don't follow us or vote for us or whatever, or are totally against us. And we'll probably find out who our friends are. They're few and far between, that's for sure.
Aye. I think there could be doing a Campbell Ogilvie or a Donald Finlay on our board there, Albert. But listen, the first hour has flew by. Good comments for Beatty's. Time for the tune, and then hopefully we'll get some callers in the second part of the show. So if you don't mind putting yourself in mute, give us a tune, folks.
It's a place of great fame. It lies to the northland, and Ulster's its name. It has only 6 counties, but all are renowned, and its emblem is a red hand topped by the Queen's crown. Now the Germans came over in the year 41, and they tried to destroy us by bomb and by gun. But our history will tell them of others who tried. Our sons defended Ulster. They fought and they died. If a baby should speak to in his own rebel tongue, he will speak of our friendship. Why can't we be one? Just to point to the red hand, topped by the Queen's crown. Say we're side by side with Scotland, and they won't let us down. Like I'm brothers and sisters, that is all toast is one. That is ring to our Ulster, its heroes and sons. And while we are toasting to names we must join, that of William, Prince of Orange, and the banks of the Boyne.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks for that, Fox. That was a cracker. All barely enjoy that.
Oh, I did. I did. I was dancing away there with Mrs. Olbert. It was good.
Oh,
Listening,
lucky her.
driving.
Lucky
That's what I
her.
say. I say that every night. Lucky you.
We've been joined by Smurf and the boys. Good evening, Smurf.
How you doing, troops? He's all right?
Smashing,
good,
mate.
good, pal.
Good, good.
What's your thoughts for this evening?
Well, I just think about listening to you on about this refereeing. I was thinking about this Ralston, right? Forget the handball for the penalty. Put that aside. He had a body check in the first half and a body check in the second half. Both were yellow card offences. You throw in the penalty kick, and then the myriad of, fouls that would have been eventually worthy of a yellow card through the top, not procedure. He could have been yellow carded 4 times, that boy. Maeda, just through the top and up. He could have picked up a couple of yellow cards. Celtic should have had 3 sending offs. Stonewall, couldn't complain through a kick to the face. I can't even believe I'm saying this. Kick to the face. A kick to the face is not a card offence. You get sent off for it. Right? Especially when the ball's in the keeper's hands and he's had it for 2 seconds. Right? And Maeda for the totting up. And obviously, as I say, there was 2 body checks and a handball in the bolts for Ralston. It's just indefensible, you know what I mean? It's hard to sit back and be sceptical and just say it's corruption. But it's either corruption or a level of incompetence that gets you the sack for refereeing Wayne's football, let alone anything else. It's a riot, and Rangers really need to do something about this. You know, I don't know if you can, how far you can escalate it. There's an arbitrary court for sport. I know there's that, but I don't know what routes they could go down. And I don't really know if they've got the expertise within the club. You know, I've got no faith or any confidence in anybody at the club to have the nous to marshal us through this. We don't have a Campbell Ogilvie at the club, a former sort of club secretary, and we could really do with somebody of that ilk and in that mould today more than ever. You know, it's sad times. We need somebody that's going to fight for the club, and you know, and we're executive, and I don't even know that we've got MD of any substance that can actually do it. Do you know that?
Aye. Aye, no, listen, I actually touched on that just before you came on. We could be doing with a Campbell Ogilvie or a Donald Finlay on the board and in there giving them legal kind of advice and, you know, not to get messed about. Albeit he's got a valid point, but we're all speaking about it. But see the fact that UEFA and FIFA are overlooking our officials for any major tournaments, any major games, that surely underlines that our officials, Willie Collum, is doing a horrific job there. But it's no just him. He's part of the process, but he's no helped to improve it at the start of the season when he suggested that he would. But what day we day, we can't just keep accepting it.
It's not just us as well, by the way, and I'm not going to bring other teams in it. They can fight their own corner because they're certainly not going to fight Rangers' corner. But at the end of the day, we're talking about these referees and all mistakes and all that. A lot of these things are no mistakes. It's they're choosing to make these decisions wrongly. They're consciously making them. I mean, that one with Butland, he knew exactly what the law is there, mate. He knows the law of the game saying kicking somebody in the head. It's an automatic red card in any other league in the world, apart from up here, obviously. And you're looking at the one with the Raskin goal. People say, "Oh, that's subjective." It hits the net, and then you get VAR backing them up. Now, this is the problem I've got with VAR. They're starting to back the referees' decisions up, even if they want to call them to the screen, which they really don't want to do now. They really don't want to do that because it automatically Walsh, if it's a mistake, which it's not, he should be saying, "No, look, if we call him back out of the screen to look at this, and he doesn't give the red card, what does that say about us now? We're already looking like clowns, but he's going to because he done it at Dundee United." He get dragged out of the screen and he looked at it again and he looked at it for the angle saying there's no slap there. No, I see a slap. He sees something that's not there. It's madness, mate. It's complete and utter madness now. So these are no mistakes. The point I'm making is there's no point of saying, what do we do here? What is Willie Collum and all that? The whole lot is a total shambles, mate. What needs to be done is that you need to talk to the referees and say to them, first and foremost, we're going to sack you, but going to give you the reason why you were giving these decisions because it's no mistakes. Why are you choosing to give their decisions? If you can wiggle that out of them, you'll find out what's behind all this. Because there is something behind it. You don't make these decisions consistently, badly. And that's a nice way of putting it. Without something really being triggering behind this. This is no right, by the way. It's just no right. We've been saying it for years. Now, there's one test. There's a litmus test here. If all these decisions had went against that mob across the city, do you think they'd be sitting taking this lying down? Do you think for a minute they would accept this? And we've accepted it for season after season after season, mate. We'd accept it. They wouldn't accept one of these decisions, let alone all the ones we've had against us. But again, you look at it and say there's only one team ever benefiting from all this. One team in the whole league is benefiting from all this incompetence is them across the city. That's why they're no moaning and groaning about any referees. When have the last time you heard them moaning and groaning about a referee? It doesn't happen, mate. Because they know what we go to moan about. We're winning everything. We're getting all the decisions. And we don't get a book for, we have 11 fouls before we get booked. We can practically do what we want. We can practically, and it's proved, mate. They can do what they want. Sunday's game proved that, beyond a shadow of a doubt. If it ever was in doubt, that was proved then. So it's all full stops for me, mate. There's no use pointing over and over the same things over and over and over again. These people need to be sacked. It's as simple as that. That's where Rangers need to go with this now. They've tried to be nice. They've tried to do it with their own processes and go absolutely nowhere. Wally Collum comes out. I mean, I stopped watching that clown when he's trying to justify that Hearts game this week, this season. He's trying to justify the decisions. You're going, why are you not just coming out and going, got it wrong. Oh, that makes me look bad. Of course it makes you look bad. But I mean, you look even worse by trying to justify these decisions. So just say it's wrong. I'm going to do something about it. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to have a word with them. Well, you've had a word for the Hearts game, and it still continues. It's hopeless, mate. They don't know what they're doing. They simply don't know what they're doing. Or they do know what they're doing. It depends what way you want to look at it.
Aye. Bridge, the football, we're meant to be bringing in the technology to improve and to help the officials. You know, it works well in rugby, it works well in tennis, it works well in cricket. The umpire, the referee, whoever it is, the official, he's actually mic'd up and explains the reason why they've gave that particular decision. You get a replay up on the big screen if they've got the facility. It's all about transparency and clarity. There's none of that there. It's all cloak and dagger stuff with your officials.
Oh, they're wrong so many times, man. They're wrong, totally wrong. And if you take the film of any of their decisions, like that one with against their goalkeeper, just take that to the rest of the world and ask me, give us an idea what you think of that guy. Hey, they're going to come back and say that's a penalty 100% of the time. I'll tell you now, 100%. But we in this country, for some reason, there's a group in this country won't have it. They just won't have it. And sorry about that. And I don't understand why not. We've witnessed it that they did that last time. They caused a strike with the referees. They brought in foreign officials. I'm not saying they were any better, truth be told, but there's so many people in this country that just won't accept them. And what they will accept is they'll accept any negative decision that goes against the Rangers. That's what they want. They'll love it. They just love it. That's what they look for. And they love these referees and until it happens against their club, of course. But they just love it. So they've got a double on us. You know, it's the Rangers, and we like to see them losing. That's all there is to it. And as far as I'm concerned, to me it's cut and dried as that. It's just cut and dried as that.
Aye. Smurf, Albert speaks, yourself, that spoke about the last time they got a bad decision against them. March 2024, Tynecastle. Rodgers came out, slated, beaten, accused him of cheating, basically. He's never refereed another game for them, I don't think. And they've never had a red card since then. And I believe that's over 70 domestic games ago.
Aye, well, it just shows you that in itself is proof that there's two-tier refereeing in the country. You know what? I really don't know how unless we call it out, unless we've got a kind of club secretary that could sit down and put across, you know, evidence the argument of you know, multiple incidences of specific referees, but they never referee a Rangers game again and threaten them to go to the European Court of Arbitration, because look, you can't be that incompetent all the time. There comes a point where you've got to be saying that this is something bigger than that, and it pains you to say it, but it's all you're left with. Do you understand what I mean? Because if you've got if you've got technology and you're bringing it in, it's an aid, but it's only as good as the people that's operating it. You know, if you've got a bad football player and you put who's technologically advanced football boots in his feet, you're still a bad player. Do you know what I mean? And if you're a bad ref and you've got all these aids, you're still a bad ref. And if you're a corrupt ref, you're still a corrupt ref. And I believe there's a level of corruption involved. It's got to be. You can't have, you know, 3 incidences where it's an instant yellow card of one player, and then another yellow card due for totting up for other fouls in Ralston, and he leaves the field at the end of the game, at the end of 90 minutes or whatever, with 1 yellow card because he's not been sent off.
Right, we'll part that now, Smith. We've spoken about it for a week now, pal.
I'm going to speak it forever, by the way. So it's going to happen. It's not. I'm not letting this go.
Aye, I know. No, we can come back to it. But Southside's joined us there, guys. Evening, pal.
Oh, good evening, AK.
Hi, Southside.
Bridgeman, I believe Smurf. I thought I heard Smurf there, and Allbear, my mucker. How are you guys? All right?
Good, pal. Good.
Aye, good, pal. Good. What's your thoughts briefly about last night? Then we'll move on to Dundee.
Last night, we looked a shadow of the team that we've been. Physicality or the park, we lacked it, I think, and we've been lacking it in all the European games that I've watched this year. They were a big team, a big unit, and we certainly lacked physicality. Poor marking, by the corner again, cost us. And the second goal, the player walked half shooter to create the chance to square it, and the boys free and finished it good. He went back across our goalkeeper into the far corner. It was always going to be an uphill battle. We did create a few chances here and there, but nothing of any note, to be honest. Thought the tifo was good for the support. It was a cracking tifo they done. It was a good start to the game, you know. These players came out to that. Good wee atmosphere at the start. Tried to keep the atmosphere going throughout the game, but they were a better team than us. So they were. And we got what we deserved.
Aye, pretty much sums up what all you think. Right, so we'll move on to the Dundee game. That was good timing for you coming in there, Southside.
Okay, geez 2 minutes, they'll come.
No worries. The UB wanted to put on a display for Remembrance Sunday, but Dundee denied them through reasons, whatever. So the UB have actually put out a statement for that, guys. You don't mind, I'll read it out if anybody's not read it. This Sunday, the Union Bears have prepared a tifo to commemorate Remembrance Day to honour those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country, as we proudly do every year. Unfortunately, we've been informed that Dundee FC will not permit a display of this tifo, citing a strict policy that prevents away supporters from displaying any form of tifo regardless of its purpose. Once again, we are faced with restrictive and outdated rules from clubs intent on limiting supporter expression and fan culture. Countless hours of work and significant expense have gone into creating a meaningful tribute to remember our fallen heroes. Excuse me. While we recognise that Dundee will pay their respects in their own way, we are simply asking for the opportunity to do the same. We urge Dundee FC to apply common sense by reconsidering this decision. Signed off, the UB. Your thoughts? Who wants to go first? Any volunteers? Right, Smurf, you can go then.
Well, it's a shame, innit? Because it's not about taking sides, is it? It's about honouring my fallen. And I'm surprised at Dundee, really, at that. Wouldn't be surprised at Dundee United, but I'm surprised at Dundee for that. And ultimately, I was glad that they mentioned in their statement there about fan culture as well. These guys turning up, spending money all over the country, week in, week out, Rangers, and putting the coffers into these lesser light clubs, these smaller clubs, and there should be an appreciation of them as well, and honouring the country and its fallen. I really don't see how that can be political or incendiary in any way. It should be a time of you should be humbled and have some humility, and that's exactly what Dundee have shown. They lack their humility and class, really, in all honesty. That's my take on it.
Mm-hmm. Aye, well said, pal. I know you're ex-service and that yourself, so well said. It means a lot to you. Albert, for me, it should be mandatory. With a lot of the clubs in the UK that they should pay their respects, surely.
Decency should be mandatory, mate. It's just a decent thing. It's a decent thing to do. Everybody's in this country, they've made it religious, mate. It's nothing to do with religion and nothing to do with the fallen of both. All world wars, every country. That's already been proven. So it's just disgraceful. It's this country again, and it's just hate itself to death. You can't honour these people because it might be seen as something other than what it is. Decency is short supply in this country. Just common human decency is just lacking in this country, and hatred is took over. And the people that run the game, that tolerate this nonsense, mate, that's been going to fester in this country for years, is just manifest itself when you can't honour the fallen. It's ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous beyond belief, mate. It makes me sick to my stomach.
I agree. Bridgeman, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think what they should be doing, we should commemorating at Ibrox, first of all. So we should have maybe said, can we get that game swapped over to Ibrox, or we'll see them again. And we should be commemorating at Ibrox, because now we know, and I had just speaking about it 10 minutes ago there's not very many in this country that like us. And there you are. Dundee was one of the teams that liked us. And I don't think now very many people will be surprised that what's happened. So we're on our own insofar as some of the things that our traditions want. So we must, I would imagine, somewhere along the line, the Rangers must try to make as much out of this so that they can get our traditions fitted in to the scheduling of the games. So it's dead easy. It's dead easy. So commemoration, this Remembrance Day. So the first game, where would we be doing it? Whenever we decide where we could do it first, before or after, then we should get that into the schedule. Commemoration Day, that's it. Rangers will be playing at Ibrox. Done. That's the way we need to go. We need to get that done. Or we move it, but I think it's pointless moving it. It's got to be the weekend of the Remembrance Sunday. It's got to be that weekend.
Oh, we done our display last week though, didn't we? But Southside, you back? I think that's the second time we've played Dundee already this season. We've not played Aberdeen. Funny all fixture.
Aye, we played Dundee at Ibrox. Second or third game. They were away on Sunday. Dundee again, we've not played Aberdeen. Aye, it's weird, but you'll see it unfold as the fixtures go on throughout the season. I'm sure we'll be battered with a couple of crackers as we go on, but aye, it's surprising that we're getting Dundee again and we've not played Aberdeen. You're correct on that, AK.
Did you catch the UB statement there, Southside? And what's your thoughts on it?
I never caught it, mate, at all. I've not heard anything.
Right, well, it's in the chat there. You can read it yourself. But,
right, no worries.
But they've made a statement and they're basically saying why is Dundee no allowing them, and they say because they don't allow any away support. But you would think they would make exceptions because of the weekend they were it is.
Aye, I haven't. I take it it's just today with Remembrance Sunday, is it? Is that why they've released a statement?
Yeah.
It is,
Is it?
aye.
Right,
Aye.
I've not had a
They-
chance to
they
see
had
it
it.
yet. I will catch it. Surprised at Dundee, no going along with whatever they were wanting today, probably some type of display or whatever. Surprising, but it's no surprising, is it? As I heard Albert talking there just prior to coming back on there, what he was saying, and aye, it's disgusting that some clubs choose to go down this road. When throughout the whole of Great Britain, people will have Remembrance Sunday, and the games that are all played on Sunday and over the weekend will be commemorated, but certain clubs don't want to go down that road, unfortunately. Even although there's a lot of them have had players that have died in the war and stuff and that, but they still refuse to do it, but it is what it is, isn't it?
What were you saying, Albert?
It's the rat clubs that don't do it, mate. Let's be honest
Aye.
about it. It's they're saying, what Dundee are saying is they've got their own display planned and they don't want anybody else to their display. So you can't have two displays. You can't honour it too much, mate. There's a certain amount of honour you're allowed to dish out, but you can't do too much. Load of crap, mate. Load of crap. Just being Dundee, innit? Along with their emails, you know what I mean? Enough is enough.
Aye, true. Smurf, it's a tough place to go. Dundee, they've had issues with their park. And I don't know whether they've got it sorted. I would like to think they've got it sorted now, but they actually beat Celtic up there a couple of weeks ago. So it's a tough game that awaits us on Sunday. Regardless of their league position, they actually sit second bottom in the league. The news. So. But it's not to say that we've got to come up there and steamroll them. They're going to try like nothing else because it's Rangers coming to town, you know. So, what's your thoughts, Smurf?
I agree that it's going to be another cup final for Rangers, isn't it? And they've got players that will find an extra 10-20% when they play the Old Firm. It could be a tricky one for us. We're low in confidence. We've had a couple of bloody noses and a bit of injustice, but it's also an opportunity to get back to winning ways. And I'd be very, very, very disappointed if we don't come away from there with 3 points. But we'll only achieve that if we go there with the right attitude and level of commitment and respect for our opponent. That's the only way, because we're not a great side ourselves. We're better than Dundee, but to get that result, we're going to need to fight for it. We're going to need to over for it. And so all be about attitude. If we got the right attitude, get the right result. That's my opinion.
Aye, just briefly, Bridge, just looking at our fixtures, domestic fixtures anyway, we've got Dundee obviously on Sunday, then we've got an international break, but we return to Ibrox, Livingston at home, and then we've got Falkirk at home the previous week, so we've got an opportunity there to get 9 points in the next 3 games, which could be massive for the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you very much. I would accept that. 9 points over the next 3 games. Absolutely wonderful. But I don't understand why there's an international break. I know, is Scotland playing or something?
Yeah, they are, pal, aye.
Right. Oh, well. I'm not
Clark
interested
needs
in
the money
Scotland.
for a
I don't know
carry
if
out, that's why you get to get it.
What's that?
Clark needs the money for a carry out, and that's how you get to get it.
Yeah. Good shout, pal. Good shout. I'm not interested in any other team at the present moment, and I haven't been for a long time. My team's the one that matters, and now we're going to be held back again. I don't know how we're going to go over this, because we're going to have one game at the weekend, and then it's a 2 week. Is it 2 weeks? Is it, or a week and a half or something like that for the international break? It's just nonsense. For me, it's just nonsense anyway. You know. However, we've got to go with it because that's the rules. And the rules mean something to somebody. I'm not interested. See that we were talking about with Dundee and other teams. It's there right in front of our face. We're getting any power we had in Scotland has been dismantled. It's just been dismantled, and if it's not been dismantled because we were put down to the bottom of the league, it's been dismantled by the teams because they hate us for what we are. Simple as that.
Oh, Bear, if we'd get any aspirations of calling ourselves into this league, we must be getting 9 points out of the next 3 games, eh? Dundee, Livingston, Falkirk. But I'll be confident.
But see this, we're all looking ahead to 2 and 3 and 4 games ahead. This team can't put any run together at all. So it's game by game. It's the first game's this Dundee game. Can we even win that game before we even look at any other game? It's always looking ahead with this team. We're always away ahead, months ahead. You're saying, look what's right in front of your face. Deal with what's right in front of your face before we even go any further. They are confident we're going to Dundee to beat Dundee. No, I don't think anybody is with this team. We never know what you're going to get. Roll had them looking all right. We beat Kilmarnock, we beat Hibs, and you say, oh, there we've got something. We fought the Hibs one out. We actually scrambled that 1-0. So if we go up to Dundee and do something similar again, it's not going to be pretty, this team to watch. It never is going to be pretty till we get it sorted out. But if we go up there and scramble a 1-0, I mean, it's a bridge, man, and I'd take it. I'd take 1-0s in every game for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. That's how bad this team is. But you can guarantee that Dundee are not going up there. You know they'll not be lying down to us. You know they'll all guns will be blazing. That's the way it should be in every game for every team. But we need to get the result, as we do in every game. But we need to get the result, one game at a time. I hate saying it's a cliche, I know that, but with this team, it's fact, mate. They can't look any further than. In fact, you can't even look further than a half. You're doing it with 2 halves. That would be brilliant. So they come out the first half and they're crap. You expect them to be better in the second half. They play well in the first half. You expect them to be crap in the second half. This is the way this team operates for some mental reason, but this is the way it goes.
Aye, very true. But anyway, it's came to that time of the night. We're looking for Southside Super 6, the only man that makes Russell Martin look good. Because Russell Martin's had more victories in Southside. So give us your Super 6, pal.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for November the 8th. The first selection this weekend is Millwall to beat Preston. The second selection is West Ham to beat Burnley. The third selection is Bolton to beat Port Vale. The fourth selection is Swindon to beat Tranmere. The fifth selection is West Brom to beat Oxford United. And the sixth selection is Chesterfield to beat Accrington Stanley. If you take all 6 to win, it pays 29.5 to win.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Southside, good luck with that. Listen, I'll just quickly run through them. I know people take note of them, but yourself, Ox, maybe speaks a wee bit too quickly for them. So Millwall, West Ham, Bolton, Swindon, West Brom and Chesterfield. Good luck with that, pal. Smurf, your thoughts for Dundee? Confident? It's a must win, isn't it?
It's a must win. I'm confident, but only if we've got proper application, and the team selection is going to be right as well. But should we apply ourselves appropriately and get the right attitude, and fight and endeavour, and industry, all the stuff you would associate with Jock Wallace sort of thing, character, then of course we'll win. But these are traits that seem to escape this team, and so it depends what Rangers turn up. They could do with a win, because they could do with the lift in the spirits and the confidence that will come with it going into the rest of the games. But as you say, we've got a run of games that should be on paper games that we win, and they're also games that it's not just the points that are at stake. It's the confidence and the lift that a wee run of games, winning a wee run of games will give the team going forward. That's just as important. So I do believe we'll win, but only if we turn up with the right attitude. If we don't get the right attitude, it's going to be another sticky game and a game we could lose.
Aye, oh, no, definitely. If our attitude and application isn't right, that's definitely the factor in there. We've been beat with some poor teams already this season. Southside, I'll come to you. Did we look at the league before we came on there? We're sitting fourth in the league now and 15 points equal with Hibs, but they've got a slightly better goal difference. The thing that alarms me when I see it though, we've only scored 12 goals all season in the 10 games that we've played. We've conceded 10, so we've only got +2 in aggregate. You look at Hearts, who sit top, they're 28 goals to 9 conceded, and they've only dropped 4 points. It's obvious where our failings are. We can't score enough goals, and we're conceding too many, and also dropping too many points through draws. Your thoughts?
Aye, I'd look at that as probably being the start of the season for them, to be honest. Since Danny Rowe came in, obviously we've got 2 league wins, and we need to start scoring goals up front. We need to start creating more chances during the 90 minutes, to be perfectly honest. And we need to, as we've talked about, we need to stop shelling goals, set pieces and stuff like that are coming into your box that we're not coping with from time to time. We might do it for parts of the game, but it's not good enough. And even in set pieces, I watched this the other night at Ibrox last night. It was unbelievable. We had 4 players in the penalty box when Tav was taking a corner. They done zonal marking. They never left a man up the park, Roma. They put everybody in their box, and yet we only had 4 players inside that penalty area. And Tav couldn't beat the first man onto the 6-yard line. He crossed it in, and the boys just headed it away. Why we only had 4 players in there, I've got no idea. But that's what we've been up against. So there was a couple of wee sort of moves that we've tried. It looks like we've tried a set piece move here and there. But we need to start scoring more goals, AK. It's evident that's what we need to do, and we need to start scoring them regular. The 2 strikers, we need to hit them to get them into a better form, get their confidence going. But other players in the team need to chip in as well from midfield, and is also wide. Players need to start chipping in. So I'm looking at it as it's a new Danny Rowe's come in. I'm giving him a chance. I'm hoping that we'll start to score goals going forward over the next few weeks, because we have to start climbing that table. But listen, if we take the next 4 games and we win 1-0, as long as we pick up the 3 points in every game, AK, then I'll be happy with that. But hopefully we'll start becoming a free scoring team again in the coming weeks, pal.
I think that's what we're all hoping for. Albeit, again, looking at the scoring charts on the table there. I see you there, Andy. I'll come back to you now, pal. As well as Hearts, Celtic, Hibs, we've got Falkirk, Motherwell, Dundee United, Kilmarnock and Livingston all scored more goals than us. That's not right, pal, is it?
Well, there's, for example, the other night, we had 2 holding midfielders and 2 fullbacks in our midfield, mate. And we're wondering why we're not creating chances. It's a good chance that you've not got anybody in there that's got the foresight. That's why I'd play wee Mikey Moore in the middle of the park, mate. He's the only one with any vision, a bit of skill and any vision. He can pick a pass, see a pass and play it. Some of this, to be fair to some of the forward, the 3 of them, to be honest, mate, some of them make really clever runs. They're just not getting found, mate, at the right time with the right ball. And that's all down to a midfield. It's designed to do one thing, defend, and they don't do it particularly well. So I think that's a big, huge reason why we're not scoring enough goals. Because your midfield creating nothing, mate. Absolutely zero. We're expecting the gas man, Ant-Man, and people like that to create. That's fine if they get the ball at the right time. You get a pass that they get. They don't have to beat half a team to cross a ball. The breakaways, for example, are slow as a week in the jail, the breakaways. Whereas the Ant-Man, he needs grass to run into. Ping the ball at the top of the full-back seat and let him go on it. He never do it. We never do it. We fart about and mince about. Barn doesn't see the pass. He'll never see the pass. No Herman, great attitude, the wee man. He gets about. He does. He's a defensive. He's a spoiler. So is Raskin. He's a spoiler. And then you've got two fullbacks. He's supposed to be a creative player. Our playmaker, by the way, believe it or believe it not, is Jack Burton. That's our playmaker in that team. They just keep passing it back to him and he launches it up the park. That's it. That's our attack. That's our whole attack in one goal, mate. That's it. That's what we do. Until we get away from this and start getting midfielders to play, midfielders to actually create. Let's put it that way. And we've got, who have we got in the team, in the squad that can do it? You're thinking Barjami and Asgard and people like that, Rodwell, or people. They're doing nothing, mate, in the creative sense. They're doing absolutely nothing. So for that's why we're struggling with goals, mate. The defence is poor, so we lose goals. So we know that. But the creating goals is poor. And we great about Sermoni and Miowski and Danilo no scoring enough goals. There's not enough chances to score enough goals. So you get one chance, you better put it away because you ain't getting another one. No matter who we play.
Very true, very true. Anyway, talking about us, slow as a week in the jail, we've been joined with Andy Fairvin.
Oh, aye, cheers, Alex. I thought Oxford's bad, but you're worse, know what I mean? Anyway.
Good evening, pal.
Good evening. How are you? How was your day? How was the boys doing? All right, everybody there. It's the bridge man, Smurf.
There's a few on south side, all there.
Oh, aye. So that's me. I put my tenner on south side, so that's it. Would you win? Nothing. Aye. Anyway. No, I've got to change the subject because I've fed up. I've been through all this last week, this week, and last night, and the controversy last week with the kick in the head. I was with this international break now, isn't it, after Dundee. Is that right? Aye. So you think we're Scottish coaching by then, in between the international break? Because there's supposed to be somebody Scottish. I don't know, there's supposed to be the interviews for somebody for a Rangers player or whatever Scottish to give Danny on. So I don't know. Do you think that'll happen over the next couple of weeks?
I think Danny Rowe actually said that yes, that should happen over the international break, but I'm not sure whether you're like who that is, because he mentioned something about Mo Johnston.
Oh well, that's all right. Better with Al Johnson. Aye.
Who's your aim pick, Andy? Who would you like to see?
I don't know. Well, I'd like to see maybe Wee McCann or. Who I'd like to see? A set piece coach. That's what I'd like to see. And that accordance we get. They should be doing during the international break. Get Arsenal videos. They've scored about, I think, 35% of their goals are for corners. So I would watch all the Arsenal games and see that's how you do it. I can it's a different level doing there, but the level up here is the same as what you're playing. So it's 6-0 it is, but I don't know. But I'd say McCann. I don't know who else I could think of. I tell you who he talks like again. That boy Morris Ross, when every time he's on Rangers TV, but I don't know what he's like. He seems to get his stuff. Any time I've listened to him, he's better than listening to wee Tam, right enough. But no, I say Morris Ross. I don't know, but I don't know if he's attached to any team or anything. But I say McCann because he kind of Scottish football, and I think he'll get the respect to the players too. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Interesting shouts there, Bridge. Sorry, Smith. What did you say?
I've heard a rumour.
Carry on.
That a former Rangers player. He's been out the game for a long time. was a manager in the English Premier League. He seems to have been sin-died everywhere for some obscure reason.
Billy Davies?
Billy Davies, I've heard it's him.
Aye. Interesting, Bridgeman. What do you make of that?
Because he's worked with him before. I don't know what club, but they worked together. Him and Thelwell worked very closely together at some club in the past, apparently. Anyway, I don't know if it's true.
So, as an ex-Rangers player, did you say?
But Billy Davies, Smurf saying possibility.
Billy Davies, okay. Yeah, remember him well. And I always had a strange word to say about Rangers too. But are we saying he's going to be something to do with Rangers in the very near future?
No, well, Danny Rowe's looking for an assistant that's got maybe a club connection, and somebody that will give him a word on the oppositions and the grounds that we're going to, and just somebody who that has played with the club, got an affection for the club, and can get a message across. We're just putting suggestions up in the air,
I've heard a rumour as well. It's Walter Smith's statue. Take that, sit at the side of the park. That's what I would do. That's a good call with Andy. That's a good call with Andy. That Morris Ross. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. The guy. I wouldn't be averse to that, Morris Ross.
I thought it was Stephen David was going to come in as an assistant for him. That was the talk a couple of weeks ago, but whether it's with any truth in that, I don't know.
Fox has actually put in the chat there, the Southside, going back to Smurf's point, that Billy Davies worked with Thelwell at Preston many years ago, so might have a relationship there. Southside, you get any preferences yourself to see somebody in there?
You'd like somebody that's been at the club and played for the club, probably been successful. Billy Davies is what Smurf's alluded to. He's been, a lot of people talk highly of him. His coaching's good and stuff, but he has been away from football for quite a long time. Whether that comes to fruition or no, I don't know. Morris Ross is not a bad shout and all. I know he's done all his coaching badges, and I've listened to him talk and all that. But probably I think the two that it might fall into would be probably Stephen Davis. If he can, I think he does assistant at Northern Ireland at the moment. And also I think maybe Neil McCann might be in me a shout. We've been there before, and I like listening to Neil McCann. I think he talks a lot of sense. So I thought maybe between McCann and Stephen Davis might be the shout. I know previously the rumour was that it would be Lee Wallace coming back through a former ex-player that was played at the club. I think it was Windass. Mentioned that he reckoned that Lee Wallace would be coming back in some capacity to work with Danny Rowe, but I think it will get ratified over this international break. I think by the time we come back to play Livingston, I would like to think it would be in place. If I had the choice, I would probably try and go. Although he's a manager now, I think Stevie Robinson going to St Mirren and just saying, look, you get in here and be a number and be my coach, along with my coaching team. He knows the game, he knows the league. And if you pay him more money than what he's getting at St Mirren, he's a blue nose. He's worked at Northern Ireland as well. He's well qualified. Then you might be able to tempt him. Salary always tempts people, and he might want to come and work. And I think he'd be a good shout to come to Rangers and help Danny Rowe going forward. Although he's as a manager at the moment, you might think, nah, I want to stay that way. But I think if you offered the right salary and put it in front of him, then I think he'd be ideal to come to your club.
Ox suggested that actually a couple of weeks ago, and I thought that's a great shout for me, Andy. But money talks, but he's in a kind of, well, he's already a number one at a club, and he has been before. He's cutting himself a good career in Scottish football, but I think that's a great shout. if he's to come in there as a number 2 and then replace Danny Rowe when he moves on. But it's really the structure round about the manager that we need to support better, Andy. I think that our recruitment has been questionable, to say the least, and Billy said that in his call last night, and we're all thinking the same thing. You know, we've spent, it's not as if we've no spent nothing, but we've regressed, and we've regressed badly. Like this time last year, we were heading towards the quarter-final of the Europa League. Now we're sitting bottom out of 36 teams.
I know, Alec. It's ridiculous, terrible, unbelievable. Rob's a good shout. He's a good blue nose, but would they come to Rangers? I don't know. Well, he's got a final day to look for it. You know, I don't know. But maybe he may be a shout at the end of the season. Getting a fresh start next year, bring him in as assistant. Then he's with the promise that if Danny Rowe moves on, he's going to step in. Then he can maybe bring Steve Davis in. You know what I mean, I think they're pals and all. So I don't know, but that's a good shout, Dave. But I don't know who. The other thing I was going to say to you is, do you think they maybe have a Ranger kind of a friendly during the close, you know, during the international break to maybe see a big Sterling in that game, because he can't be far away to get returning to the first team. I can't he's been training, but I don't know. I think he can maybe. I talk about going to Sheffield Wednesday to help them out during the international break. I don't know. That was one of the rumours. I don't know if it's just a lot of media talk or just a lot of noise on the Facebook and all. I've seen a couple of folk suggesting that. Because I think Sterling would do well if he comes back, if he can stay fit. Because you can play in a few positions. You can play right back and play centre half.
Oh, but we've certainly missed the physicality. We've certainly missed the physicality, Andy, in the team. But it's just getting them back fit and then remaining fit, Smurf.
He's just never fit for his work, is he? But of course, I mean that role that Giga's playing on the right hand side of 3 central defence. I mean, he's just made for that role, isn't he? And can play it right back, and can go into midfield if required. So we've really missed him. And it's just such I feel for him because he is a good player. He does make a difference. He improves us, and the many teams and the managers we've had in his time at Rangers, anytime he's got a run of games, he's always improved the side, and it's just a shame that he can't stay fit. And I think going forward, he's one of these guys that we're going to need to replace, unfortunately. But as soon as we can get some match fitness into him, he's only going to improve the first 11, that's for sure. So we've definitely missed him,
Ridge, you like your big defenders? You like to see Sterling coming back as soon as?
The day before tomorrow, please. Like, what can I say? We need a defender, don't we? We need a defender. You look at us with the last few games in defence, we've been panicking. One of the boys, I think it was Smurf, was talking about the midfielders, the attack. You know, we're attacking midfield. We don't actually have any attacking midfielders now. They're all guarding the midfield, and they're okay. Some of them managed to break up, but it's only the odd thing. We end up playing the game in our own half, and that's because we've not got midfielders that can run with the ball and stay up there. They need the skills to hold the ball, find another man. You know, it's just, you can see it yourself. You know, the last pass, the guy's waiting for it, and he's in the right space, and we can't find him. We put the ball at the park or something stupid, you know. And that's what we need to get stopped. We need to be able to find our players. We need to see what we're going to do. We played that team the other night, and they took long throw-ins, free kicks, corner kicks, and nearly every time at least one of their players got the ball. And we're not getting it. Why not? What's the matter with us? We're not playing right for some reason. We're not playing right. And for me, I can't wait to see that big Fernandes guy in centre back. Get 2 giants in there and fear nobody and kill everybody when they come near you. Just kill them. That's what we need to do. Be tough, very, very tough, hard as nails. Remember John Gregg when he was a young man? You couldn't go near him. He'd flatten you. And I mean that sincerely. He would have flattened them. And Harold Davis, unique people like that, is fearless people. They know the game of football and they're no scared to show it. We've not got that. But some people there are just no up to it. Against we're bullied all over the park. We're not just bullied, but we're beaten all over the park. Let's put it that way. Second to nearly every ball. You've got 8 people in front, 8 people playing round about our 18-yard line, and they're going from side to side, following the ball, side to side, running across. We're doing nothing. We're not guarding anyone. We're not taking the ball off them. We're not doing anything like that. And that's horrendous for us. Horrendous. Because we need to pick that ball up and run right over the halfway line. And once you do that, you start to put pressure on them. And if we can't pressure them, we're not going to very many goals. And that's one of our big problems. Sorry, guys. Negative, sorry.
I was going, Albert, what an uplifting speech that was for Bridgeman.
By the way, if he's getting 2 giants, I want Batman and Iron Man in my team and Nora, and he's getting giants, I want them. What's that, Smurf?
We've already got Ant-Man, so why not?
May as well get this full
That's a
set.
good shout. That's a good shout, that one.
See, outside the question. What it is I know you used to watch, still watches all these young boys.
Muff, hold on. We've got the Invisible Man and all. We've got Matondo and Bizrami. And...
Very good. Very good. Matondo. And it's hard to believe that guy's still in our books. It's really hard to believe. Matondo's still in our books. And here we're struggling to get players up the park. Oh, my God.
It's good money if you can get it.
Muff, and then quick points, Muff, and then we'll need to wrap up, pal.
The boy Finlay Curtis, did he ever play as a striker? And when in the youth teams coming through?
Albert and Southside can answer that.
That's what I was at. Because I'd like to see him through the middle with Danilo. I'd like to see that. Because I think that boy strikes the ball very, very cleanly, very, very sweetly, and with power, and he can keep it down. And isn't he short? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that was my point.
Aye. Albert, Southside, did you see Finlay Curtis play as a striker?
No, but he does play. We heard he does play, but we've not seen him, no.
Right, cool. Right, well, I'm afraid that's came to the time of the evening. Thanks for your company there, Andy. Thanks for coming in, pal.
Hey, bother. A wee quick point. Can you bring the Tin Man in? Remember him? Because he didn't come with his days. He's trying to move the day with the rest of them. Anyway, thanks for taking my call, boys. Big Tin Man. He was brilliant, the Tin Man. I loved him. Loved him.
Brilliant player.
Anyway, thanks for taking my call, boys. Thank you.
Superb, Andy. Have a good weekend, pal. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Smurf, your final point, briefly.
Onwards and upwards.
That'll do, mate. That'll do me. Thanks for your company again, Smurf.
Good night.
Thank you. Southside, your final point.
Aye,
thanks for joining.
Aye, thanks for letting us on earlier on there. It's good to come on and join you. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Got to get back to keep winning in the league and climb this table. I'm sure everybody behind the goal and to the right-hand side up in that main stand will be loud and proud on Sunday, cheering the team on. So looking forward to that and looking forward to getting 3 points in the bag. And let's start going here and get momentum going. So thanks for having us on.
Super stuff. Albert, always a pleasure. Your thoughts?
Aye. It was good talking to me. Good to hear Southside, yourself, Bridgeman, Andy, and Smurf. Aye. Onward and upward. I'll take that one. Well, let's get it done. Let's get up there and get a victory, mate.
And finally, the legend, Bridgeman, your calling card.
Calling card. A marvellous night tonight, AK. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks to Albert for backing me up here. And of course yourself. and of course the guys that have joined us and the techie boys in the background. Well done to them. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, massive game, biggest game of the season come up on Sunday. So I'm going for a 1-0 to the Rangers, a 1-0 result for Rangers. Keep it going for the Rangers, everybody. Please keep it going because they really need us. They really do. Keep it going.
Fantastic. Thanks again there, Bridge. Super stuff again, yourself and Albert there. Can I just thank our callers for this evening? Andy for coming in there. Smurf, as usual, always a pleasure. And of course, our own South Side. I'll thank our techie boys in the background there. Without them, there wouldn't be a show. Fox and Old School Blue. Great tunes. Hopefully, South Side Super 6. Stoats at the weekend. So enjoy it if it does and if you're backed it. We'll be back on Sunday. I think it's, what is it, a 2 o'clock kickoff? 3 o'clock kickoff, so we should be
2
back.
p.m.
It's 2 p.m, right, so we should be back for 1 o'clock on the Sunday then.
No, sorry, I was saying a show will be on at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock kick-off, sorry.
Right, okay, but 3 o'clock kick-off, so the show will be on at 2 o'clock. We'll join you there. Enjoy your Saturday tomorrow. Take it away, Foxy Boy.